Gaudy. Gaudy stats. Gaudy stats. Good God, that's Gaudy. Welcome to Gaudy Stats.
With Ben Simmons.
What's on the menu, Benny boy?
There's a man in the NBA. Some call him the Big Galoot. It's not very nice. I mean, yes, he's quite oafish, monstrous, a giant. He's 7'3", 290 pounds. This is a man. Okay? It's a large human being. I wonder what his diet's like. Oh, God. I can only imagine. How many enchiladas could this man eat? How many burritos? I ask you, fine listener, how many foot-long subs could this man eat in one sitting? I want to know! Will somebody tell me? I'm talking about the one, the only, Boban Marjanovic. The 30-year-old, was he 29? The 30-year-old, I'm just going to go with 30, Serbian sensation, who I believe has been criminally underutilized in his basketball career. And we'll get into why. There are good reasons why. The changing NBA, positionless basketball. As I said, he has some oafish tendencies. He's an extremely large man. It's hard for him to move his legs fast enough on defense. That right there is the crux of the issue. Why is Boban not getting enough clock? This is a man who has never averaged over 9.4 minutes a game played. He's never averaged more than 6.2 points a game. But I tell you, have you seen his per 36 minute stats? Oh God. Have you seen his efficiency stats? Points per shot attempt? Wow. This guy, this legendary creature needs more clock. Give him 20 minutes a game. Will somebody give this man 20 minutes a game? You're telling me there's no defensive scheme to cover up his inefficiencies, sliding his feet on defense? And he's actually not that. He actually can protect the paint. He can. We'll get into those defensive stats a little bit. So I just want to, the reason why I wanted to do this podcast is, okay, listen, it's February 28th, 2018. Last night, Boban, apologize if I mispronounce his name. He put up 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of which were offensive, folks. A block and 2 steals in 15 minutes on the court. Come on. I want to see him run, canter up and down the court for 20 minutes, 25 minutes a game and see what this man can do. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Okay, well, with this pod, what are we going to do? I'm going to be going to the Bay Area pretty soon. So how about some nice, how do you say, chiapino? The seafood stew. Oh, man. Oh, that seafood, the delicious garlicky, tomatoey broth. Ooh, we got some, what do you got? A little whitefish, a little shrimp, scallop. Boy, you put it over some rice. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to get some of that when I'm there. I need some chowder. Why am I saying it in a Boston accent? I'm going to the Bay Area. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, let's get into it. So happy to be doing this pod because, Boban has kind of a cult following in the NBA fan circles. I mean, it wasn't just San Antonio. It wasn't just a shortstop in Detroit. It's not just the fact that he's taking Los Angeles by storm, slowly but surely. You're gonna wake up and see Entertainment Tonight feature him and Jennifer Lawrence dating. When they redo Conan the Barbarian, you're gonna see Boban in a starring role. I love his game. He's super efficient offensively. And his stats, folks, are eye-popping. Did you know that Boban Marjanovic is the most efficient player in modern NBA history when it comes to points per shot attempt? I laughed out loud when I saw that. He is ahead of Adrian Dantley, who, by the way, if you haven't looked at Adrian Dantley's stats, you should, because I feel like he's a little underrated, especially for modern fans. Even though he played into the late 80s, very early 90s, his last season was 1990-91. He had a long career, a Hall of Fame career. He averaged 24 points a game. And what's interesting is, okay, let's keep going on this list first. So, Boban, Adrian Dantley. So, Boban's at 1.62 points per shot attempt. Adrian Dantley, 1.53. So, almost a tenth of a point less. Charles Barkley, 1.52. James Harden, 1.51. And then Shaquille, Shaq Daddy himself, O'Neal, 1.47. Now, who on this list sticks out to you? You got a bunch of Hall of Famers, and then you got Boban. Is this for players with a minimum of 30 points per 100 possessions in 100 regular season games? And yes, Boban works in these little short stints. All right? I already talked about the other night, put up 18 in 15 minutes with 5 offensive rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. That happens all the time, folks. Whenever he gets meaningful minutes, the man produces. And the issues on the defensive end, which could it be overstated? Zach Lowe reported on Twitter that he routinely dominates practices. He has been for years. Well, since he's been in the NBA. And he probably did when he was, in the Euro League. He played. He's been playing professional basketball since 2006-07. For first 4 years for a club called Hemo Farm, then CKSA, then Zalgiris. Okay, I'm not going to even try to pronounce all these, but he had almost a 9-year career in EuroLeague, and so why hasn't he been given a chance to really shine? It's because of the defensive end. It's because of, all they have to do is go small when he's in the game. It's like if he's punishing them on the offensive end, then you put in someone like Kelly Olynyk or, stretch 4, stretch five, like Kristaps Porzingis. Imagine Boban trying to guard Kristaps. But folks, can I just talk to you about his per 36 minute stats? Listen to this. This is goofy, but this year, all right, in three games with the LA Clippers, all right, per 36 minutes, Boban's averaging 40 points a game, 13.5 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 2.3 blocks, and 9 fouls. That's only in 3 games. But, all right, look at his first year in the league with San Antonio. 21 points a game, 13.7 rebounds, 1.6 blocks, 1.5 assists. That's his first year. Okay? And if you look at his total year with Detroit and the Clippers, 26 points a game, 12 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.3 blocks, 1.2 steals. So he's doing crazy work when given a full workload. Now, will he ever play 36 minutes a game in his career? Has he ever even played 36 minutes? I don't think he's gonna ever play 36 minutes. And has he ever? I don't think so. I mean, I've been following him pretty closely. He doesn't usually get past 20 minutes a game. There have been some games where he's gotten some extended run, but I think it's just a shame. He is a devastating offensive player. And there's a really interesting article by Chris Vernon, now of 538. He says, because he lacks foot speed on defense and is largely tethered to the paint on that end, opponents, particularly those with sharpshooting stretch bigs, can exploit him with the high pick and roll. Both sides of the double-edged sword were on display during the Pistons' loss in Miami Wednesday night, a game in which Marjanovic got his 5th career start, while one-time All-Star Andre Drummond sat out with a rib injury. Marjanovic displayed his usual soft touch around the basket, finishing with 15 points on 5 of 8 shooting and 9 rebounds in just 22 minutes. Still, even with that sort of offensive firepower, the Heat, who drilled 17 threes, tied for the most Detroit's allowed all season, were able to chase Boban off the floor whenever they downsized by playing Kelly Olynyk at center. In fact, Olynyk reeled off 8 consecutive points to put Miami on an 8-0 run within 2 minutes of that shift. The run prompted Pistons coach Stan Van Gundy to call time and subsequently limit Marjanovic's minutes to whenever Olynyk wasn't playing at the 5. Kind of a microcosm of the defensive struggles that Boban has encountered. But, you know, it's interesting. In this article, it doesn't talk about a zone defense. Like, why? I am curious why you couldn't play a zone defense with Marjanovic, Boban. Funnel all the little guys into the beast, into the Bobanator, as they call him, overseas and in San Antonio. Funnel them all to him and let him swat them like flies, like an ogre. I got to stop with the big jokes because, yeah, obviously the man is huge. He's a behemoth. But, you know, I've seen Rudy Gobert move. That man struggles to move his feet as well. Listen, I'm not a scout. I'm not a coach, obviously. There are things to be seen on tape defensively with Boban struggling to get to certain spots. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, there's another interesting paragraph in this article. I'm going to read to you. None of this suggests that Marjanovic, who signed with the Spurs as a free agent back in 2015, has no skill on defense. Coming into this season, he held opposing players to far less than their usual averages when shooting within 6 feet of the rim, likely the result of his disruptive 7'8" wingspan and 9'7" standing reach. He can dunk without jumping, guys. What a beast. That make him one of the largest players in NBA history. And if he had played enough minutes to qualify for the leaderboard, Marjanovic's career total rebounding percentage, 21.9%, would put him right behind former Piston Dennis Goblin of the Glass Rodman, who holds the best rebounding rate of all time, 23.4%. Wow. I didn't even put that in the Dennis Rodman podcast. 23.4%. It's crazy. You know, and one of the issues that's been talked about a lot, he's just in the league at the wrong time. Like, there's like these lumbering centers like Bill Cartwright and even like Rick Smits, we're going to do a podcast on Rick Smits. You better believe it, buddy. But, you know, if Boban existed in the early 90s, would he be getting 25, 30 minutes a game? Would he be averaging 20 and 10? I think there's a really good chance of that. But it's just a damn shame. I mean, he's so damn efficient in these little stints. You would think, you know, and for a lot of teams, points are hard to come by. You would think he'd have more, he'd be more sought after. There'd be, more of an emphasis to try to adapt and tailor your defense and offense around a guy like this. It's really a damn shame. It's a bummer. Did I mention he has a PER of 49.5 with the Clippers? Oh, God. But he's got a PR of 27 his first year in San Antonio, 29 second year Detroit, and then a total of 24 this year. So I don't know, man. I would like to see some experiments, like, get him out there for 30 minutes a game, just see what happens, because it's also demoralizing when you have this beast just abusing people at the rim, just over and over, dunking on people, laying the ball in. Just, it reminds me of when Yao Ming played. Now, I wonder what his role would be like. I mean, could it be the same role that Boban is experiencing now? Probably not, right? I mean, I just feel like players can get pigeonholed in the NBA. Like, the way they're viewed by other teams and by their own teams can be skewed maybe by, like, Boban was undrafted, okay? He came in the league when he was older. He was always viewed as this tertiary piece, like this backup, but why couldn't you elevate him into a more of a starring role, does he really move that much worse than Zaza? Like, imagine if Boban was on the Warriors. I mean, it's gonna take a creative offensive / defensive coach or coaches to properly utilize this guy. But I really hope we get to see it soon, because these offensive efficiency numbers are just out of this world. I mean, per 100 possessions this year, per 100 possessions, he's scoring 36 points a game. He's averaging 36 points a game. Okay? He's averaging 16 rebounds a game per 100 possessions. And he can protect the paint. And like a middle class man's Rudy Gobert. So, I mean, and he's a much better offensive player than Rudy Gobert. No offense, I love Rudy Gobert. First of all, I love him. I love his defensive statistics. His His defensive work is second to none. Well, maybe Draymond, maybe Kawhi. But would you just give him 20 minutes? I mean, I look at some of the centers around the league. You know, I know some of them can move their feet. Okay, the moving the feet thing. Okay, I get it. Tyson Chandler, the galoot. Great defensive player. He can move his feet. I get it. He's old. But he can still move his feet probably better than Boban. But, you know, it's astonishing. Being a little hyperbolic. Being a little hyperbolic. I get it. But it is crazy that he's able to put up these numbers, Boban, in these short bursts. You know, it can't be easy to come off the bench and not know if you're going to play 2 minutes or 15 minutes. And he just goes after it. He puts up crazy numbers, gaudy stats. Man, I really hope we get a chance to see Boban unleashed for a whole season and see what kind of stats he can put up, because he deserves it. All right? He deserves it, man. I'm like Boban's biggest fan. One more thing I wanted to talk about. This is going to be a short pod. But one more thing I want to talk about was this Zaza business. Okay? Zaza tripping and falling. Oh, Zaza. And Zaza, like, you know, he fell on Westbrook purposely. You look at the video. It's so obvious. And the balls this guy has, when he's asked about it, he's like, oh, I'm not going to even answer that question. No, I'm not going to even answer. I mean, are you kidding me? Anybody looking at that video can tell he meant to do it, just like with Kawhi. And Kawhi hasn't even played barely this season. I think he's played like 5 games, something like that. But like, you took away almost a whole year of this man's career with your dirty shit, Zaza. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? And then you fall on Westbrook? Purposely? Fall on his knee? With your fucking galoot ass body? I'm getting heated. You oaf. Big tree fall hard. I get it. But you could have stood up straight. You fell forward onto this man's knee. And don't act all incredulous like, oh, I can't believe I'm insulted. I'm insulted that you're asking me if I did it on purpose. Oh. I know you did it on purpose, Zaza. I saw it. I got eyeballs, man. We all do. Well, not everybody. Some people don't. And some people cannot see. But a lot of us can. And we know what you did. I'm so mad. I used to like Zaza. Even this year, I like Zaza. You know, you put him in your fantasy lineup. You know, if they're playing a team with a big guy, you know, Zaza's going to get a little extra clock. You know, he gets a lot of rebounds, gets a lot of, you know, nice little layups. He's goofy. You know, he's got a funny voice. He looks funny. I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, he just looks like interesting. Like he looks like he's a unique looking dude. Caveman-esque. But come on, man. That's some malicious shit, Zaza. Seriously, man. Some bullshit. I was mad that we did that to Kawhi in the playoffs. That robbed us of what could have been a potentially amazing series. That Warriors-Spurs series. When Zaza thrust his galoot leg. There's been a lot of galoot and oaf talk and giant talk this pod. Thrust his leg out in front of Kawhi purposely. You can look at the replays, man. I've seen that. You know what? One of the dirtiest players of all time, Bruce Bowen. Okay? Bruce Bowen. I'm a Suns fan. I'm very biased. But you want to go online and look up Bruce Bowen dirty plays. Go on YouTube. You want to talk about putting your foot out in front of somebody? Kobe did it too. Look up Kobe Ginobili. Kobe injured Ginobili in the playoffs. It was intentional. He put his foot out in front of him. You can see it. I'm not I'm not conspiracy theory. I'm not doing conspiracy theory thing right now. Okay. I'm look at the video evidence. Okay. And while you're at it, look up the Sacramento Kings 2002 Lakers Western Conference Finals. Okay. You want to talk about games being thrown? The Kings were robbed. And while you're at it, JFK. No, okay, I'll stop with the conspiracies, with the with all that. But I'm just saying, like, we've seen the leg out in front of the guy before. That is the easiest, most passive aggressive way to injure somebody. Bruce Bowen, you dirty, dirty man, did that many times. He was a dirty player. You can't get away from that. Bruce Bowen was dirty. Zaza is dirty. Okay? He's dirty. I'm sorry. Warriors fans, I'm sorry. Look at the evidence. Okay? I'm getting hot and bothered. Look at the evidence. Look at the video evidence of Zaza. Look what he did to Kawhi. Look at this shit. The Westbrook thing was absolutely ridiculous. Okay? There was how much time he could have easily stepped back. He was like, oh, whoa, I can't. He was standing still. He wasn't like running out on the court. He wasn't like trying to stop his momentum. The dude just fell. Look, buddy, I've seen it in real time. I've seen it in extreme slow-mo. All right? He did it, okay? And I'm an indifferent observer. I actually like the Warriors. I'm probably a tiny bit biased because I love watching them play. I appreciate Zaza, okay? I used to, but that shit's dirty. All right? And they really should take a look at punishing that kind of behavior, or they should take a look at Zaza. They should talk to him. Pull him aside into NBA headquarters in a dark room. All right? Get some retired play. Get a KG, who he had those battles with in that really funny Atlanta Boston Celtics first round series when Boston won the championship and when Atlanta took him to 7 games in that first round series, and Zaza and KG were going at it. They should bring KG in as like the bad cop, and I don't know who'd be a good cop. Sean Bradley. Bring in Sean Bradley. Okay, bring Sean Bradley and KG, 2 large men. All right, Sean Bradley's the good cop. KG's the bad cop, and you ram it into his mind and make him think that he's going to get expelled from the NBA, kicked out for all these shenanigans. Okay? I've had it with Zaza. I've had it. Get it together, Zaza. And like these Warriors players who are like defending him and all shit, like look at the fucking video, man. You know, like just, oh God. Anyways, oh man. But you know, at the very beginning of the pod, I was talking about Adrian Dantley briefly. He was on that list. And it's fascinating that on that list, you have, you know, 2 big men, Boban and Shaq. And then you have Barkley, who kind of played in the post more. And then you have Adrian Dantley and James Harden, kind of as more like slashers, perimeter players. Although Adrian Dantley was technically a small forward, but he was 6'5". James Harden, how tall is James Harden? Let's see. James Harden, 6'5". So, and you know, Barkley, by most accounts, was around 6'5" too. So that's fascinating that, you know, there's no point guards on that list. They're all kind of like 6'5" and above. But Adrian Dantley had a hell of a career, man. And it's funny, he barely took any threes in his career. You won't believe this, but he took 41 threes. He was 7 for 41. Isn't that wild? He played from the 76-77 season to 90-91, took 41 threes his entire career. It was a different era, man. But that's just wild. But I gotta say, I was astonished by Adrian Dantley's field goal percentage. And it makes sense when you look at the stat I was talking about, the most efficient players in modern NBA history, leaders in career points per shot attempt, 1974 to 2018. Adrian Dantley was 1.53. Boban, as I said, was 1.62. So he's far and away the leader, which is just hilarious. But listen to his career field goal percentage. Adrian Dantley, 54%. That is amazing. That's amazing for a small forward. I mean, he was shooting a lot of jump shots, and he achieved that career field goal percentage. To give some perspective, James Harden is a career 44.3% shooter from all field goals. He's a fascinating player. Maybe we'll if I get deep into his career, maybe we'll do a little podcast on Mr. Adrian Dantley, because he had a fascinating career. You know, he played for Detroit later in his career. He played for, at the beginning of his career, he played for Buffalo. He was drafted by Buffalo, Indiana, Los Angeles, and Utah for many years, right before the Stockton and Malone era. Shifted into high gear. Really, really interesting player. Great stats. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at Gaudy Stats. We're on Facebook, TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all the platforms. I'm going to be taking the show on the road. I'm going to the Bay Area tomorrow. So I'm going to try to do a show from the Bay Area, maybe walking on the beach, pensively, looking around the seagulls, shitting on the sand, thinking about life's grand design. What does it all mean? Existential thoughts, wandering on the beach for hours. Oh, man. I love San Francisco. I love the Bay Area. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. I'm going to get some food while I'm there, too. There's this little spot I always go to. Shanghai Dumpling King. Oh, it's so good. So many dumplings. And the price is right. The problem is that there's too many people there. The word got out a long time ago. And there's just too many humans just breathing everywhere, all around. It used to be like you go there at a certain time, there'd be nobody there. Now there's like a line out the door. Not at all times, but too much for my liking. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, at the Golden Gate Park, definitely walk through there. Gonna spend some time in Oakland for sure. See some family. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Looking forward to it. So, hey, thanks again for listening. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. This is a hump day edition of Gaudy Stats. Enjoying talking about Boban, the big galoot, a.k.a. the Bobanator, as they call him, far and wide, worldwide. That's it, folks. Hey, have a great one. Talk to you soon. Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye.